7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Our men with the caller set to go. Doc Emmerich and John Davidson. Guys?
Bill, raucous anticipation among all these Caniacs down here below us. And further down in the locker rooms, quiet anticipation and some strong leadership.
Absolutely right, Mike. You get into a Game 7, everything's on the table, and it becomes leadership time. Rod Brendamore's been the leader for this club all season long. A fantastic playoff, scoring goals earlier in the series. He's always been a good face-off man. He's always involved with body work, the grit and determination that a leader has to have. Now, he's been quiet the last 2 games, but his team feeds off of him. He has to play well, and for Edmonton, Chris Pronger, he's been the best player on the ice the last 2 games. Scored a penalty shot. Imagine that for a defenseman in this series. Big shot from the blue line. Real tough with the body work. He's a 6'6" guy. He's a big man. He has to play the way he's been playing, and I think he will. And for Edmonton, he may be their best player. Edmonton has their game. They're on a roll. Carolina has to find it, especially with their captain.
This place is sold out. That's no surprise. Rexall Place is sold out in Edmonton to watch it on television. The arrival, the thoughts of the players, and the anthems coming up. In Raleigh, the 6th team since the 1967 expansion with a chance to win the Stanley Cup for the first time on home ice. The other 5 did it. They have thought about this for the last 2 days. They flew back just like the Oilers, arriving yesterday afternoon, getting whatever rest they possibly could. Led by their first-year goalie Cam Ward, including number 26 Eric Cole, first home game in 3.5 months, the Carolina Hurricanes. Pierre Maguire and Chris Pronger.
Chris, you're the leader of this Edmonton Oilers team. What do you have to do to lead them to the Stanley Cup tonight?
You know, I think we just got to play with composure, play the same way we were playing the last 2 games. Play well defensively, and we'll get our opportunities to score.
Thank you very much. Best of luck here in Game 7.
Thank you.
Chris Pronger, who has played 49.5% of the time during these Stanley Cup Finals. The Hurricanes, despite 2 straight losses, got a psychological boost from the return of Eric Cole from a broken neck. The Hurricanes say entering this game tonight, it's the Herb Brooks line from 1980. Play your game. Use your speed. Don't take too many penalties. Remember Eric Cole? They remember him here, and he's downstairs with Pierre.
You surprised the hockey world in Game 6 when you came back. You had a target on your back. You had a bullseye on your back here in Game 7. How do you fight through it to win the Stanley Cup, Eric?
Well, you know, we've had that whatever it takes attitude the entire playoffs. I'm just thankful that I have the opportunity to come out here and battle with these guys. And then we're just going to lay it all on the line and play hard. And hopefully at the end of the night we'll be lifting that cup.
Thank you very much. Best of luck here in 7.
Thanks, Pierre. Appreciate it.
Doc?
We so greatly appreciate the cooperation of the players all during these playoffs. Here in Raleigh, as all around the league, when teams from both Canada and the U.S. compete, both countries are saluted with the anthems. An engineering student from North Carolina State, Holly Wilver, with O Canada and the Star-Spangled Banner.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Holly Wilver and the fans here in Raleigh with both anthems. How many speeches would coaches have made to their teams this year? You take this back to rookie camp and it's 270 or so days ago. Sixth-year man Craig McTavish running the bench tonight for Edmonton. First Game 7 for him as a coach.
As a coach, though, he used to be a player. They've won cups. The coaches have. Not one Stanley Cup championship has been won by one of his players. And all his players have said, we thank him, that man right there, for the way he's been able to keep us calm.
Second-year man with the Hurricanes. Third Game 7. Coach Peter Laviolette, 1-1 in the prior ones. None of them were in the finals. Rod Brind'Amour will face off against Michael Pekka. Face-offs have been critical, especially for the Hurricanes at home. Brind'Amour has won 68%, his team 60%.
But Pekka's done a good job opposite Brind'Amour as far as play goes on the ice. You have home ice. You have the ability to match up because you have the last change. Carolina, we'll see how the game goes, but they may keep Brind'Amour away from Pekka.
Glenn Wesley, Nicholas Valine, the defenseman. Wesley had cleared it in. Pekka fans on the first try to clear it. It came to Corey Stillman. Banked around, and Rafi Torres, the hitting specialist, is run into by Brind'Amour. Meanwhile, this one skittered back near Cam Ward. Played by Valine and taken by Wesley, and Williams steps into Torres. So 2 hits on Torres already.
Oh, you got to love that, Mike. That means it's my barn, it's my rink, I'm at home. Torres can't come in here and bang us around. I talked to Rafi Torres today about hitting. He says, you know what I was told? I was told to watch the opposition player come to me and then me hit him before I get hit. I said, who taught you that? He says, oh, a lady, a hockey mom back in Ontario, Canada. I said, you're kidding me. Cecil Brooks, a hockey mom in Markham, Ontario, taught him to look down, and when you see the other player's skates about to hit you, you hit him. Imagine that.
His dad said, make sure you get noticed out there. He has been. 46 hits in the playoffs coming into this game. Alex Hemsky with a shot that went wide. He, Ryan Smith, and Sean Horcock, the front line for Edmonton, pitched along to Hemsky. On him is Mike Commodore, the big defenseman. Laid back along further, Mark Recchi. A change in the lines tonight. Recchi and Eric Cole are the wingers for Eric Stahl.
Well, Recchi has moved from right wing to left wing because Cole and Stahl played together a lot this season.
Turned over now. Cullen brings it in. Crosses. Shot off of Markkanen. Cullen centering pass. And it went back off Andrew Ladd. Quick change for Carolina. Now it's Cullen to the outside. Dropping it back over. Trying to get by now and holding and then feeding it past the Ladd. A great score! Aaron Ward!
Fresh bodies on the ice. As you see Cullen, who's playing his second game at center ice, a beautiful pass. Now you see the puck moved in front and it goes right toward. Look at the traffic. Markkanen did not see the shot. It was down low and on the ice. There's a beautiful pass back by Recchi. Look at the traffic down low underneath Markkanen. Before he could get down, it went underneath of him. Ladd was in front. Everybody was in front. And what a shift that was for Cullen, who was robbed earlier by the goaltender. And Ward, the defenseman, Mike. Carolina has scored the first goal of the game in this series.
From the border town of Windsor, Ontario, near Detroit, Aaron Ward, one of the few Hurricanes with a Stanley Cup championship. He has two with the nearby Red Wings. He takes this one and tips it along, but it came to the back where Tarnstrom tried to play and could not. Charging ahead is Chad LaRose, but it's controlled by the Edmonton defense. Now Stoll. Jared Stoll spun it off Wesley behind. Samsonov turning there. Sergei Samsonov with a shot that is held by Cam Ward.
Yeah, for a goaltender, that's a good save to make from the outside. Hangs on, gets him in the game.
Let's go down for a look inside the glass, sponsored by Bud Light. Here's Pierre.
Everybody was hoping for everybody was hoping for the big hit from Eric Cole. Well, Eric Cole did it early on here. It led to the neutral zone turnover. All you have to see is Cole stepping up on Stales. They get a line change, live legs on the ice. That creates the odd man rush. That's what you have to have. So the offensive flow starts. Markkanen makes one save. It eventually leads to the Ward goal. But it was all about Cole being unselfish and then smart getting off the ice.
Jason Smith, a shot that is blocked down. In hits, blocked shots, face-offs, the stats that we have so much time between games to look at. Carolina has won all of those contests at home, but not on the road. This is what their season has been for, a Game 7 in front of their fans, not in Edmonton. 95 minutes and a second separating the Carolina goals. It had been a long time for them. Taken now by Ray Whitney. Lays it ahead to Matt Cullen. Off the Minnesota-born winger, it's chipped up high. And checked off is Ren Murray. A pair of players have tumbled to the ice and play continues.
A big start for Carolina, led by their captain. His first shift, he threw the big hit on Torres, and his team has followed suit. They look very sharp early. We didn't see this in Edmonton by any means. This is a different hockey club.
Brett Hennigan out of St. Cloud State gave it back across for the flip in by Mike Commodore. Smith pursued and hammered by Stahl. Centering pass is blocked aside by Markkanen. Oh, and another big hit came across the way from Mark Recchi on Horkoff.
And Cole with another one. Markkanen just got hit, and that's a penalty to Carolina. There was a collision behind the net. And Eric Stahl is going to go to the box, so Edmonton, who is seeing an adrenaline flow here, attacked them by the Hurricanes, will now have a power play to change things. There's a body check by Recchi. There's Eric Cole coming across, but here's the penalty in behind the net. It's called goaltender interference. You can't make contact behind the net or anywhere with a goaltender, even if it's not, if it's an accident, it's an accident, but you can't touch him. It's a penalty. Pierre.
You know, early on in the game, you don't mind that if you're Peter Laviolette and the Carolina Hurricanes because you're trying to dictate the physical tempo. Let's remember what happened in game number 6, John and Doc. Quite frankly, Edmonton dominated Carolina. Eric Cole, Eric Stahl, Mark Recchi, they're trying to send a physical message to Edmonton.
Brindamore has won the draw all the way back.
Mike, one thing, and that is that Edmonton's power play has come alive in this series, and this may be a way for them to get back into this thing. It's only 1-0 Carolina, but Carolina's been the punishing team, the skating team. Power play can turn the flow.
Hemsky could not get through. Taking a hard hit was Wesley from Ryan Smith, but not until he cleared it back down. 2 for 20 are the Oilers on the road in this final series. 30 seconds gone on the Stahl minor. Alex Hemsky ahead. Lost it. Hennigan takes over. That one skipped on near Brindamore. He intercepted the Ryan Smith pass and gave it ahead. Walk back on for the drop and the drive by Hennigan that had to be saved by Markkanen on a good feed from Craig Adams. Thundering ovation for the Hurricanes. Nearly halfway through the penalty kill. Now on comes Horkoff. Gets to the back. Pronger there. Drive. Pat's not work. Rebound. Oh, and that skipped off Ward. Good chance at the front of the net. That time, and it came from the man handling the puck right now, Fernando Pisani. The leading goal scorer in the entire playoffs, 34 in white. Peels off and takes this pass from Horkoff and gives it back to him again. Now it's Pronger. Drive and a diving block, and it's cleared back down and shaken up on the play, but now headed to the bench is Kevin Adams.
He got it with his right hand, and he is really hurting. Boy, you do everything you can to block shots.
Jarrett Stoll to Dick Tarnstrom, then along for Horkoff. Stoll a shot, getting a piece of it on the deflection was Ward. 15 to go. Tripped up on the play is Stoll by Williams. Williams there, and he turned it back in.
Did you feel it, Mike? Oh my. What an atmosphere.
A steal by Brindamore. Nudge to the back. Wesley drive, and that one kicked back out. Penalty time is up, and sprawling was Rafi Torres.
Cam Ward with 3 big saves.
Williams gave it across. Ward with another one, and that one blocked right back to him. Ward curled behind, has Stahl running a little interference. Gave it right back to him. Eric Stahl gave it on now to Brindamore. Brindamore cruising. Penalty time is up. Around to Williams. Trying to sachet from Tarnstrom. Williams there, no one at the point yet. Has no one to pass to. It's turned over to Tarnstrom, but blocked behind. Brindamore has Williams. Now he has Stahl and gives it to the point to Wesley. Dealt back to the captain, Rod Brindamore. Couldn't feather it through. It came to Pekka. Outletted to Radek Dvorak. No one to pass to yet. He just pushed it off the leg of the defenseman, Glenn Wesley. Oh, a healthy hit by Aaron Ward. Oh, that time on Ethan Morrow. Drive by Matt Green, and a save made by the pad of Ward. Great action here. It's tipped to center.
Carolina wanted a goalie interference penalty, but the referee was pointing. He was outside the crease. Everything was okay.
Another good steal by the defense. Frank Caberlet turned it around behind on second effort, and it is brought right back ahead. Nudged on to center for the carry by Cullen. Fed back off the wall, but eventually grabbed there and twisted back along by the defense of Yaroslav Spacek. Then behind for Eric Cole. Backhanded one that is cut off and steamed on by Rem Murray. Ethan Morrow nudges it ahead. Away from Harvey and then Caberlet. Cole could not grab that.
Eric Cole in the lineup 2 games in a row, Mike. First time in 3.5 months. His legs are better today than they were in Game 6. He had more of a chance to rest, and he is flying. And how about this? Look at the traffic in front. Carolina wanted a penalty. Ward knocked into his own goaltender. The referee said,
Early power play opportunity for the Edmonton Oilers. Kevin Adams goes down. His right wrist blocks the Chris Pronger shot. To win a Stanley Cup requires everybody pulling their oar in the same direction. Carolina Hurricanes, every oar in the water right now, and they're all pulling in the same direction, men.
Offensive zone faceoff. Thanks, Pierre. Boy, you think of Glenn Wesley, 3 block shots on 1 shift in game number 1. You can point to so many players on both teams that have done that. Hennigan a shot that deflected across. The battle on, and Brindamore couldn't come up with it. Tripped up as Williams. Play continues, and it is started back out for the lob in, and the obligatory hit from Brindamore on Rem Murray.
The thing with blocking shots, the Chris Pronger shot's a little harder than most players' shots. You can see why that hurt Adams so much.
It takes 8 weeks to get this far. 4 rounds. It doesn't often go 7. But it has 3 straight years and 4 of the last 5. Brought on by Pronger. Lob back in by Murray. Obediently to the bench, he goes for a change in lines. Cranked by Stillman. Could not drill it ahead. Eric Stahl. Flipped off the puck by Pisani, but it's carried on by Eric Cole. Then Pronger. Closed off by Stillman, but not until he'd given it to Smith, who outlets ahead. Pitched right back in by Pisani. 13 goals. The native of Edmonton goes in for a hit on the defense. Meanwhile, Caberlet is drilled, and the Edmonton hitting starts to pick up.
This is the first time we've seen Peter Laviolette change out of a matchup. It was a quick change to keep Brindamore away from Pekka. Now the Edmonton bench is scrambling. They want Pekka off. He has the puck on his stick. They want to get that matchup back.
Yeah, they want Pekka as much as possible against Brindamore. And that's what we were talking about, Mike, here, is the fact that when you're on home ice, you can keep your player away from the other team's player if you match up and change last. And Absolutely. It means something to not have a great player like Brindamore play against a great player like Pekka.
John, and that's the first time we've seen Peter Laviolette change out of a matchup this series.
It is Hemsky lobbing it along, hoping for Ryan Smith, but it's nudged on. Andrew Ladd is chased off, but protects the puck well, though he needs some help and eventually takes over himself. Rod Brindamore has been strong on faceoff so far. Does home ice mean that much for a draw?
Oh, absolutely. You saw Brindamore beat Rem Murray that last faceoff in the Edmonton zone because visiting player has to put the stick down first, and that allows you to move your stick when the linesman drops the puck and you time it. And Brind'Amour is good with that. Adams, by the way, who blocked that shot, was hurting. He's on the ice again, never missed a shift.
Hennigan flips past LaRose, kept alive by Tarnstrom to Dvorak, had goal, but that window closed quickly. And a big check behind involving Commodore and one of the Oilers who's limping around out there.
Dvorak, yeah, he was hurting.
A shot saved made by Ward. Rebound came to Dvorak. His pass is deflected but fished back out by Samsonov. Then it comes onto the back for Matt Green. Lobbed one that Jared Stoll got. Stoll a back pass in front, guided away by Cam Ward. The goalie got his stick on that. Tarnstrom a shot deflected behind by Ward. Fed in front by Dvorak. Grabbed by Kevin Adams and skyhooked on back. Halfway through the first period, 4 shots to 3 Oilers. 1-0 in favor of Carolina. Ward from Recchi and Cullen at 1:26.
Oh, baby. 2. Watch this. Samsonov's been good with the puck early in front. There's Dvorak trying to score on the rebound. Ward chips it away. Look at all the red jerseys. Every one of them. All 6. You're allowed 6, including the goaltender. They were right in front of the net, around the net, making sure the puck didn't get through. Now here we go with the Edmonton club. They have their big unit of 5 on the ice. Carolina stayed away with Brind'Amour, didn't put him out there. Edmonton has changed their defense on the fly, but they left Pekka out there, Mike. And what they're trying to do is now, if they can't get Pekka against Brind'Amour, they at least want Pronger and Smith, the defense pair, out there for Brind'Amour. So we're seeing a real chess game going here.
And the major reason why they're doing this is they can get some flow going with their forwards from the Edmonton point of view.
This is Pekka scaling it back in. Punched along and in sync flying is Rafi Torres, who is a target. Played to the back. Stales with a weak pass that is cut off now by Cole. Moving out with Mark Recchi. They crisscross. The pass doesn't go through. Markkanen had trouble handling. Then steps out and foists it along, but there'll be a penalty coming up.
Holding call. Recchi driving to the net was grabbed by Spacek. And Carolina with a 1-0 lead will have a power play. This is a chance when Stales lost the puck with a weaker pass inside the blue line of Carolina, and all of a sudden the puck went flying up the other way. There's the turnover. Now you're going to see Eric Cole try to make a nice pass. Spacek will go to his left to pick up Recchi right there. Grab him and pull him down. So Carolina, who has a power play that at times can be lethal, especially on home ice, have a chance to make it 2-0.
Brind'Amour and Williams will be a part of it. As you see, Jaroslav Spacek sitting in the box. It'll be a long 2 minutes for him.
What happened the last time Carolina had a power play here in this building? Pisani, shorthanded goal. So you have to remember, Edmonton can strike shorthanded too.
Matt Cullen gave it across. Corey Stillman with it there. Watched by Horkoff. Stillman dealt it back. Controlled by Brind'Amour to Stillman. Fed one to the back. Caberlet. Drive! Fought off by Markkanen. Played along by Williams. Caberlet touched it across. Cullen hands past Brind'Amour around to Stillman. Then Brind'Amour, then Caberlet. A jam up in front. Matt Cullen trying to pass it across, getting in the way as Horkoff comes to the bench for a change in the shorthanded team for Edmonton. Cullen right back. Stillman moves in. Hopes to angle for Brind'Amour. At the half towards the battle on it, skipped free and is outletted by the Oilers. Flip back on to Corey Stillman. 45 seconds gone on the Oilers penalty kill. This is the best home power play in the playoffs, Carolina. They've just come up short lately, but they have had one game in this final in which they scored 3 times on the power play.
7 for 22 on home ice, Pierre.
And let's remember now, Doug Weight took the skate this morning, as you mentioned, John, and the big thing is he's such a key component on that power play. Remember, they didn't score a power play goal in game number 6. With no Doug Weight on the ice, it's going to elevate the responsibility level of guys like Matt Cullen and Mark Recchi, who's now playing the point on the power play. Usually Recchi plays down low.
Doug Weight tried to play tonight. He skated this morning. He went in and talked to the team and the doctors. They decided against it. He even put a call into Al McInnes, who played 1 year for St. Louis against Vancouver with a bad shoulder. But the chance of a bad injury playing with the already third-degree separated shoulder could have been devastating. He wanted so badly to play and help his team, but just couldn't do it.
It seems like a long time ago that we saw that happen in the first round of the playoffs between the Rangers and Devils.
Jaromir Jagr got hit, knocked down, and the shoulder had to be operated on. There's some serious damage to it. He's on the road to full recovery right now. You know, Doug Weight also received a text message from Brian Leetch because in '94, the Rangers beat Vancouver in 7. Brett Hedican, the fine defenseman for Carolina, was on that team for Vancouver. And anyway, he sent Doug Weight a text saying, listen, '94, we went through the same thing. Game 7 at home means something special. And I think here, Mike, early, Rod Brind'Amour with a body check in the first shift on Torres set the tone. Carolina getting the first goal, that by Aaron Ward, the defenseman. They have their confidence back. It was missing for a number of periods of play lately in this series, but it's back.
Over 90 minutes without a goal, 5 periods counting in overtime that were up short. And only 18 shots in the 5 periods. One was short because of the overtime shorthanded goal that won it for Edmonton. The chant is "Let's go Hurricanes." Not creative, but with emotion. It'll be louder later on if something good happens for them. Sped to the back to Commodore. Commodore lobbed it around off of Recchi, but to Whitney, skipped one in front that's whacked away by Morrow, but into some traffic, and it had to be grabbed.
Power play expires. The Oilers come up with a big-time kill. It was big for them on the road, trailing by 1 already.
The Sprint NHL Player of the Game in Game 6 was Edmonton's Fernando Pisani. Submit your vote for the Sprint NHL Stanley Cup Final Player of the Game now. Just text the first and last name of the player to 57447 to vote for the Sprint NHL Stanley Cup Final Player of the Game. For results of the voting, go to NHL.com.
The Oilers like to get their game flow going now that they've killed a penalty. Carolina likes to play their fourth line, Mike, after a power play. The two Adams along with the Rose, they could provide a lot of energy for their team.
Big hit by Craig Adams on Hemsky. Ryan Smith is shot and went just wide at the lip of the crease, but challenged by the defense was Horkoff. So now Nicholas Malin, overtime winner in round 2 against New Jersey. All 3 of his Stanley Cup goals have been overtime goals. This one floated ahead. Craig Adams has Kevin Adams breaking, put it off of Markkanen and wide. Brought back ahead by Ryan Smith, connected over to Horkoff. Gave it back to Hemsky, pulls but can't get the shot away, then hacked it behind. 6 1/4 to go, first period. Hurricanes in the lead. They have it, and it's brought ahead by Eric Staal. Shift change on for the Hurricanes. Staal a shot that is blocked by Markkanen and left there, but played along by Tarnstrom, and was he ever hit? Now Staal up with it again. Fed one on goal, save Markkanen. Rebound, Kareem back for Aaron Ward to blast back in.
That big hit was by Mark Recchi. Here comes another one. Mark Recchi's had a great start to this game. He has an assist on the goal, and the body work has been terrific.
They couldn't hear the whistle. That's why the hitting continued. That was while play was on.
Leaders know how to send messages in big games. Rod Brind'Amour is a leader here for the Carolina Hurricanes. Aaron Ward was punished by Raffi Torres. Not so much in this game. Aaron Ward delivering a big body shot on Raffi Torres. And I think, gentlemen, you would agree, Raffi Torres has a big target on his back.
Does indeed. And Aaron Ward, another of the players who was shaken up early in this series, has delivered the only goal, and it came early at 1:26. He flexed that one back in, but it's carried in on an offside.
You know, you just can't let Raffi Torres, who's been a big hitter in this series, do that in your building if you expect to win Game 7. And that's exactly what happened when the Hurricanes tried to set the tone. So you see Brind'Amour going off right now. He's going off because Edmonton made a change to put Pronger and Smith on the ice. So Brind'Amour comes off. Now will Edmonton, after the puck's dropped, take Pronger and Smith, the defense pair, to the bench to save the pair for Brind'Amour the next time he comes on.
You bet they'll take Pronger and Smith off, and what they'll do is they'll leave Dvorak, Stoll, and Samsonov off. That's a matchup they want at the forward position, but you got to get puck possession if you're going to change your defense.
Pronger's pass is slowed, but eventually grabbed by Jarrett Stoll in a 2-on-2, crossing with Dvorak. Gave it to Samsonov, but he had trouble. Then spun to Dvorak. Hit around behind by Hedican. Turning with it is Samsonov. To the back it comes once more for Tarnstrom. They're probing in deep, trying to generate something there, but can't. Frank Caberlet takes over. Born in the Czech Republic, nudges it on now to Ray Whitney, the Edmonton former stick boy of the Oilers. Now playing against them, trying to win a Stanley Cup from their grasp. A bounce bouncer went by Samsonov. Kept alive by Commodore. Spun around behind for Williams. Fed it to the slot and drive is blocked by Markkanen. Off the stick of Matt Cullen. Stillman trying to get free. Corey Stillman, a hero of the first two series in particular, with clinching goals in deciding games. He circles with it. Dealt one just away from the reach of Williams. Spiked on back now for Samsonov, and he moves back out, but a shift change in order for his team.
Yeah, Pronger on the ice because Brindamore's out there. The last time Pronger was on the ice, he got punched in the face by Ladd. He was very slow getting up and slow getting to the bench.
Oh, Brindamore hit hard that time by Jason Smith, the captain of the Oilers. Fed into trouble. Pisani there, challenged by Glenn Wesley. They cancel. To the back it comes to Smith. Drive is well wide. Humped out in front, was overskated.
Right now, the Edmonton Oilers are shooting wide on purpose. That's a message from their coaching staff. Watch how many times their forwards go to the front of the net, expecting to tear them off the backboards. The reason they're doing that, so many blocked shots by Carolina.
Eric Cole tried to feed one through. It's away from Recchi. Rifled along, and it's Aaron Ward to keep play alive. Around for Stahl. He's canceled out by Jason Smith. It's flipped back now to Caberlet. Caberlet close quarters, turned it along now, trying to get free as Cole can't do it. Brought back out by the Oilers. Hurricanes with plenty of men back. It's slugged in by Pisani, who's worked over by Cole.
That's Cole on the back check, Mike. Does Cole have fresh legs or what? I mean, he's flying, absolutely flying.
Only one game played for him since March the 4th because of a broken neck. Back on now with it, driving one. No! That was a hard drive by Andrew Ladd. Getting a piece of it was Markkanen. Now Hemsky brings it on. Has Smith to his left. Moves in. Fires one that Cam Ward was able to block. Shifting now from defense to offense. The Hurricanes dropped off by Ladd. Colin Shaw turned aside by Markkanen. Ray Whitney angled one right to Matt Green of the Oilers defense. Another change for Carolina. 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the period. 1-0 on Aaron Ward's early goal. The Hurricanes ahead. Adams brings it on. Laid up. Oh, and Kevin Adams was loaded by Matt Green, and he'll be penalized for it.
The hit was high, up into the face. They call it interference. Green loves to hit. The kid out of North Dakota loves to take the body from West Lansing.
Number 2, interference.
It's called interference. It's over on your right side. As Adams was moving down, the puck had gone by him. Wham! Forearm shiver up high. Earlier, you're going to see Pronger as the big kid Ladd went in. Watch this one. Wham! With a backhand shiver to the face. Pronger was slow getting up. No call. Cole, watch him go up over top of Smith. Almost ripped his helmet off. Man, all kinds of things. Markkanen has had a couple of long shots that he's been sharp on. Cullen shooting the puck well. Kick saving a beauty right there.
0 for 1 on the power play, Carolina, with only one shot mustered in their first one. Coming up in the Heineken Premium Light Intermission Report, Bill, Ray, and Eddie will break down the first period and show the memorable moments of the series. It's coming up in just a few minutes on the Heineken Premium Light Intermission Report. Jason Smith out on defense to try to kill this off for Edmonton. Scaled one along that was away from Ryan Smith, no relation. Jabbed on now for the flick back out by Horkoff. Then Brindamore. Carolina captain dropped it off to Stahl. Laid it past Stillman. Pronger wheels it the other way, and it careened off of Hedican and out. Brought on by Stahl. Laid on to Stillman. Got it to Brindamore, but off his skate, and it's sent back where Stahl can get it. Pronger now hustles to the bench for a change. Brett Hedican holds there. Stahl and Hedican will be the point men once they get it set. Eric Cole is out along with Brindamore, and another change now as Hedican comes off. It's turned back over for Ethan Morrow to bring ahead. Left the puck behind, and that one is flipped out of play into the Carolina bench.
1:34, minute 34 to go here in this first period of just huge non-stop action. Unbelievable. Here.
Ethan Morrow just off the ice, and he says, that's sticky ice. I should have been in all alone as he was skating off the ice. It is getting hot down here, but I can tell you right now, the energy level of the Carolina Hurricanes, older players, has been phenomenal. I think they sent a big-time message to their younger guys.
Well, Ethan Morrow's brother is a strength and conditioning man for the Oilers. So they're really trying to find a way to win this thing.
Eric Cole was hit by Spacek as he tried to enter the zone. It is Ricky around behind. Scale to the back. Held there for a shot by Cullen, deflected by Steve Stais of the Oilers defense wide. That one turned on back, but a hustle there by Whitney keeps play alive. Past Caberlet it came to be swept on by Recchi. Pinching is Cullen. Good hit on him by Rem Murray. Cleared right back to Cullen again. Cole spun it to the back, held by Whitney. Drive! And that deflected up high off of Markkanen.
There you see Cole looking down at his feet, making sure he stays out of the crease. Now he's in it, back out. Quick jump to try and find the puck. Good body check on Spacek. Going right back in front there, had the deflection, but his deflection went high into the netting, up over top of the glass, so face off outside the zone.
Sent on back to Caberlet. 20 left power play, 47 left in the period. Swung at and missed by Smith. Ties up Brind'Amour though, but it careened to Brind'Amour to give back to Caberlet. Swung it back across, held there by Aaron Ward. They try to reach Stillman with that one. Eventually it'll come to him. Big number 61 floated it behind Pronger there, but it's hooked neatly away by Michael Peck. Has to double back and gets a little more room. So Smith, penalty time is up. The last 20 of the period. Aaron Ward to get that chased off. There'll be a penalty coming up. It'll be against Edmonton. Delayed penalty call in the last 12. 6 attackers has headed the bench. Cam Ward, a little feet in front of the counter. Pumped up in the air, and it went in, I believe. Cam, it is Craig Adams who flipped it in the air. It bounced around the line, plopped down. The Hurricanes were celebrating, and what do we get?
Penalty shot. Penalty shot if it's no goal, Mike. You can't, as a player, jump on the puck and cover it up in the goal crease. And Stais had it, not the goaltender. I thought the puck had gone in. Let's watch on the rush. Delayed penalty against Edmonton. Up in the air, back down. Is it in? Stais may have saved a goal. And if he saved the goal and it didn't go in, he's definitely on top of the puck. Look at the referee. Watson get right down on his knees to find the puck. So this will be a penalty shot if it's not a goal. If it's not a goal, it will be a penalty shot. There's no question Stais saved a goal. Here's from over top. The HD look at it. Where's the puck? I'm not sure. And the referee, Watson, got down on his knees and crawled right into the net itself beside the net. Oh, there's the puck. See it? Between the legs of the goaltender. It's back to the, oh, baby, to the line. And there's a right hand to Stais that may have stopped the puck from crossing the line. The entire puck has to go over the line. Stais, no question. If there's no goal here through all the replays that they're looking at now, he saved, without question, a goal being scored, and it will be a penalty shot for the Carolina Hurricanes, who are working on a delayed penalty against Morrow of Edmonton.
Brad Watson, 5th time in a Game 7, made the call. He's working with Bill McCreary, 19th time in a Game 7. There is experience in dealing with pressure here.
The air.
Let's remember, Ethan Morrow earlier in that sequence took a penalty. So there was a delayed penalty coming to the Edmonton Oilers. Morrow's in the box right now. Bill McCreary's coming over to talk to Peter Laviolette. Bill McCreary is the official. He's telling Peter Laviolette right now, I believe, there was a delayed penalty. And if in fact that's the case, there will be no penalty shot. Morrow will be in the box. And with 4.1 seconds to go, the Hurricanes will have a power play and it will carry over to the second period. But that's what I believe Brind'Amour is telling the assistant coach. The Morrow penalty is the key thing to focus on.
But the thing is, the whistle should not sound unless Edmonton has possession of the puck. If it just hits them, that doesn't mean the whistle goes. It has to be possession. Here's another look from in the net.
I agree with you,
The look
John.
at the play from in the net, the camera from in the net.
Okay, hey, look, John, I can tell you right now, I just heard Ryan Smith, the alternate captain for the Edmonton Oilers, say to Alashemsky on the bench, no penalty shot, the puck was touched. And that's what I was trying to tell you, John. The delayed penalty tomorrow was the key.
And you're right, it's a face-off on the near side to Markkanen. There'll be a penalty with 4.1 seconds to go in the period, but no penalty shot. And you try to follow the sequence of all the events. That's why the penalty shot was not allowed. They blew the whistle saying penalty to Edmonton. But in my mind, guys, it has to be a situation where you have to have full possession before you blow the whistle. Now, there's two very good referees, along with the linesman, trying to figure this thing out.
First question is, was it over the line
That's
or not?
right, and that's why you see in the background Watson, the referee, on the phone right now with the gentleman upstairs, Damien Echeverrieta. You've got Mike Murphy, Coley Campbell in the middle. He's the man that oversees all of this stuff, and they still have not determined whether or not the puck's in.
It must be conclusively over, and they must be able to see that to call it a goal. Now, what about the whistle? Let's listen.
Just in my mind, Mike, the Oilers touched the puck, but they never had possession, right? So the whistle shouldn't have sounded until they lost sight of it. Now, when they lost sight of it, Staios was on top of it. To me, that should be a penalty shot. That's just what makes some common sense to me in watching. And there you see Mr. Carmanos, who is woohoo. He is the owner of this Carolina Hockey Club, and he's emotional, and he should be emotional. He's an owner. He's been around here bringing this team from Hartford to here in the Raleigh area, and he wants to win a championship. My gut feeling is, in watching it, Mike, just with sequence of events, and the referees, if they felt the whistle should have blown, they blew it and the play's dead. They know in their minds. But you have to have possession for that to happen, for the penalty to be called against your hockey club. And to me, by the time there was possession, Staios was on top of it, from what I could see, with his right arm into his body inside the goal net near the goal line. Puck up over top. Now it comes down. Staios with a great play, diving in and keeping his arm out, keeping the puck away from the goal line. It's still being reviewed, Pierre.
If you see, there's an Edmonton Oilers stick that comes in over the top of UC Markkanen and makes contact with the puck. Now, it's not full possession, but when you watch the rolling puck, you'll see the back-checking Edmonton player, Ethan Morrow, come in, watch the rolling puck, watch 18 stick come in, make contact with it, or the next player coming in, coming in, there's a stick coming right here, Hemsky's stick. Makes contact with the puck right there.
It's not possession, though.
It's not possession,
no
but I'm
question.
sure that's what Bill McCreary's looking at.
He ticked the puck, and the puck was 1.5 feet above the blade. He just ticked it.
No argument, but again, the Morrow delayed call is why we had a whistle and why I believe we had no penalty shot.
This is intriguing. It's 1-0 Carolina, 4.1 seconds to go in this first period. A crucial decision to be made here. Brindamore's body language doesn't look too good as he skates away from the referee's circle. They're saying no goal, and the face-off to the near side of Markkanen. It'll be a power play Carolina, and they'll have the intermission, I would think, if they don't score in the next 4.1 seconds to discuss it.
Morrow gets the high sticking call. Offensive zone face-off for Carolina. Brindamore and Stillman will be out for the draw. Now the question is, will he try to draw it all the way back, or will he pull somebody in near the circle?
And Stoll for the Edmonton went and talked to his goaltender. He's telling the goaltender what he's going to try to do on this draw. He's a right-hander. He's going to try and draw it back into the corner. Now, if the puck goes back to Stahl, if it goes back here, he can move it right there for the shot by Cullen off the pass. Peter Laviolette still trying to figure out what went wrong for his hockey club.
The draw, it comes to Smith, then past Pronger, and the period comes to a close.
And Mike, I will go down to the booth and try to get the official explanation as to what happened and why it was called the way it was called, so we can let everybody know when we get into the second period.
Spirited action here in the first, and then a delay, and then some controversy at the end, but it's 1-0 Hurricanes downstairs to Pierre.
Justin, can you tell us what the referee's explanation was on that last play?
Well, I mean, I guess it was a delayed penalty, and I guess as soon as they touch the puck, maybe it's a dead play. But from my vantage point, I thought the puck was in the air, but you know, the guys upstairs, I guess, have a better view and weren't able to tell.
You're playing through a matchup situation most of this series. Now all of a sudden, Peter Laviolette's changing out of the matchup. How does that affect the way you approach the last 40 minutes?
Well, I mean, it doesn't take away from the flow. The flow of the game is the same, and when we roll lines, we're a real tough team to play against.
Thanks, Justin. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Doc?
1-0 is the score. Hurricanes, Aaron Ward. They are playing for a piece of hardware that first came about in 1893. It is delivered by limousine here to the RBC Center tonight. The Stanley Cup.
Now, Stephen, the controversial play. I just went on and saying that I thought it should have been a penalty shot, at least for Carolina. You've come in here and told me no. Explain it for us.
Well, on the play, when the Edmonton player goes into the net to go after the puck, he gloves the puck. And on the play, there's a delayed penalty. And on a delayed penalty, if when the and he knew what he was doing. That means he was propelling the puck. It didn't deflect off him. If he was batting it, then that's deemed possession.
And it wasn't under his body, so you're saying no penalty shot. The referees made the right call.
That's right.
Okay, good to know from the boss. 1-0 Carolina after one. We'll be right back. Thank you, Stephen.
Dodge, and by XM Satellite Radio. XM Satellite Radio brings you NHL hockey games and 24/7 hockey news, talk, and analysis year-round. There'll be a lot of talk about this first period, and maybe periods 2 and 3 we anticipate leading to the awarding of the Stanley Cup.
Power play, Carolina to start the second period.
Eric Stahl connects across. Brindamore, the hard drive, hoping for a carom, but it came to the Oilers, who could clear. Brett Hedican and Eric Stahl will be the point men. Stillman and Williams flanking Brindamore. And Williams gains the zone. Still controls and banks one past Stillman. Michael Pekka for that. Outlets neatly onto Pisani. Has to go against the forward and gets loose and shoots a high one against the glass. Over the glove hand of Cam Ward.
Oh, and he scored the shorthanded goal here in this building the last time he was here. Game 5, it was that same corner. Top to the glove hand side.
Murray stopped by Ward. Rem Murray shorthanded. Another great opportunity for the Oilers. That's 2 now. Brushed along by Jarrett Stoll. Started on back by Mark Recchi. Recchi able to dance by spot check, and then he has to get possession. Can't. Eric Cole can. Fed one on. Whitney to the back. Cullen a drive, and that one got off the skate of Eric Cole, his teammate at the front of the net. Now it's Recchi. Cullen's pass is slowed, and Rem Murray able to lob it on back in.
And Mike, you called it. Eric Cole had that shot hit his foot. He's limping as he gets to the bench, blocking that big blue line shot.
Cullen ahead. Brought back on by Recchi. Off of Ray Whitney. Chopped back on by Pronger. Skated down by Pisani. Providence College product brought it ahead, and that went off Cullen. And back deep, Michael Pekka takes a look over his shoulder, and then is just gently nudged, and it's up for grabs now. A fifth man comes by and starts it ahead, Kevin Adams. Lobbed back in, away from Chad LaRose. Adams moves back. Teams are at full strength. 2 minutes into the second period, game 7. Laid back in for Chad LaRose, and a shot went off Markkanen's elbow and popped high. Then thrown back down, and it will go for an icing.
Okay, we will go back to this one more time, Mike. Through technology that NBC has, and it takes time to build. Spotlight on the puck, and we will close in on it here. Get tight to it. Where's the puck? I think it's over the line. See the white between the puck and the goal line? The NHL upstairs does not have all the facilities that we have, nor the time to look at it with that big a look. It took 10 or 12 minutes for our crew to build that in the trailer, the television network trailer or truck, and that's another angle. Boy, oh boy.
There are a lot of answers, aren't there? And you have to filter through it all point by point. Here is Morrow, a shot fought off by Cam Ward. Morrow again tried to work to the outside for Hemsky, and eventually it comes to him. Out of the 4-man scrum again to the 5th man. And this is Williams bringing it ahead. 2:40 gone second period as he rifled one off the glass. Corey Stillman had a stick thrown in his path there by Chris Pronger. It's nudged across by Hemsky and returned to him. Alex Hemsky gaining the zone for the Oilers. Wanted to go by Aaron Ward, no sail there. Closed off so he can't get a good centering pass. Brindamore lays it on. Glenn Wesley, the 18-year man, gave it on to Whitney, who flew one off that loose stick. But first it went off Spacek, then he was pounded by Brindamore. Hemsky back deep, flipped one on for Jaroslav Spacek again, run into by Andrew Ladd. Then Horkoff back in, and a change in lines for Edmonton. A change in defense now will be coming up for Carolina. Brindamore is already at the bench. Banked on back for the pass back out in this period of a long change. You have to go further to make a change in lines than you normally do. Your bench is not as close defensively. Played along by Ryan Smith.
Mike, have you ever been to a game where you've seen the fans stand up for the whole game? They haven't sat down during play. They're all standing up. And we're 4.5 minutes into the second period.
Colin holds, big one in front, a great save by Markkanen, a bank shot on a wheeling backhand attempt at the front by Recchi, was blocked by Markkanen, outlet pass ahead. Jared Stoll trying to get through, wedged off by Hennick, and he poked it on wide. And we get a stoppage of play.
The net off the mooring. Great play coming back by Hennick to lift the stick. They lift the stick. That's a legal play. You can do it. How about Markkanen save on Recchi? Collins played a great game. Beautiful pass across. Looks like a goal, right and wrong. Big right pad got in the way. And then the other way, Stoll heads up ice. You've got to get underneath and lift. And that's exactly what they did. Beautiful defensive play. Great plays at both ends of the ice.
Cam Ward, 22 years of age. Jussi Markkanen at the other end for Edmonton, 31 years of age. Both of them in their first Stanley Cup final. Eric Cole brings it ahead. He's the one that caught the shot earlier. A save made by Markkanen on his sweep. And we get a penalty coming up.
The beautiful speed of Eric Cole to the outside of Spacek. And Spacek's going to go to the box. It's a holding call. Watch the speed. Fresh legs. He said he had great legs this morning. Look at him to the outside. Spacek with the legs. Puts a scissors lock on the left leg of Eric Cole with Recchi driving to the net. Look at the legs. See the legs? Both legs of Spacek. Slows Cole down. Power play Carolina, their third. They're yet to score, Pierre.
Well, you see the energy Cole's brought to the line, though. Recchi's got better jump. Stahl's got better jump, and it's all because of the play of Eric Cole.
Here's a big run. Score! Frank Caberlet, power play goal, 2-0.
From the faceoff. Jason Smith's on the puck, but Brindamore got in there and knocked the puck down. It stays alive. And Caberlet through the screen, a big-time shot that finds the net. What a play by Rod Brindamore. Oh, the puck went off the hip of Jason Smith. And it changed speed and direction past Markkanen. What a play by Brindamore. As you look at the reaction, 1 for 4. Carolina is now on their power play. A big one to make it 2-0. Mike, the puck was coming out of the zone, but Brindamore got there and chipped it. And it slowed the puck down to keep it alive in the Carolina zone.
Offside is called. The urging of the Carolina bench was play your game. Peter Laviolette said play your game. What does that involve? That's using your speed. Cole did, drew a penalty. Use your discipline. Don't take penalties. They've only taken one. It was the first one of the game.
The power plays are 4-1 now in favor of the Carolina club. What a huge goal that is. Now, does Edmonton, I know it's very early in the second period. They got to find something here.
Played along by Matt Green. Rattled past Ethan Morrow. Carried back by the Hurricanes, LaRose, and punched on further for Kevin Adams. Kevin Adams and Craig Adams have played every game. They don't have any scoring points. Peter Laviolette would never think of not dressing the guys you see out there right now.
Having LaRose back on the line reunites them. The Rose and the Adams family, they call him, Mike.
Stillman and Cullen get the assists on the goal by Caberlet. With a 2-goal lead in the playoffs, the Hurricanes' record is 8-0. I know stats can be kind of crazy sometimes, but when it's absolutely mentioned, 8-0, and on home ice, including the regular season with a 2-goal lead, 21-0 Carolina.
Go back to that second goal. Edmonton actually wins the faceoff, and Jason Smith went to fire it out of his own, but Rod Brind'Amour read the play. Now Brind'Amour loses the draw here. Jump in quick, and there with his stick, stop the puck from banging out of the zone quickly. Cullen was able to keep it alive. Across to Stillman, across to Caberlet, and it was in the net. Rod Brind'Amour, who is not a flashy player, but is the captain, has made some plays here that have really meant something to his team. Little plays that add up to big plays, which mean goals.
There are a lot of major colleges within easy 15 to 20-minute driving distance of this arena. One of the college traditions is to stand the whole game. These people are still standing now, and it's been a while since that goal by Caberlet, but there'll be another face-off coming back near their hero, Cam Ward, Pierre.
Well, you see what happened. Chris Pronger is on the ice right now with Jason Smith. Major reason why they've changed out of the matchup. They just changed on the fly. They know spot check can't handle Eric Cole's speed, and Eric Cole's been going all night long, John, as you have said. That's been a big problem for the Edmonton Oilers. They're not that worried about the Brind'Amour line right now. They want Pronger and Smith on the ice against Cole, Stahl, and Recchi.
Well, that's what we're seeing right now. It's exactly what we're seeing.
Commodore shoved that one along. Freight train down was Eric Cole. And he is just now getting to his knees.
Oh, he's been rattled by Pronger from behind. He's up. Looks like he wants to stay on the ice.
Nice feed ahead to Mark Recchi. Pronger trickled it along. It is a collision sport. Cullen a shot and a big save. Markkanen. Hustling back now, Caberlet got there in time to touch up for the icing. Play stop. Second period, 6:13 gone. Caberlet with the goal on the power play has boosted his team into the lead by a pair.
Cole, that's the matchup change. John and Doc, they want to see more physical on Eric Cole.
Eric Cole told us today that if he gets hit hard from behind, his chances of a major injury happening are higher than others who are completely healthy. He said for the rest of his career, if he gets really hit from behind, a fractured neck could be the possibility. But he says, you know what, I just want to play.
That was what happened March 4th in Pittsburgh that caused the neck to break. It is Cullen. Nice feed in front. And they will get it by was Whitney. A tremendous save by Markkanen. Now Pronger. Every save Markkanen makes huge now because 3-0 enormous in a comeback on the road in a Game 7 with the fans still standing here and saluting their team.
Best game Cullen for Carolina has played in the series. He's back to his natural position, which is center ice, and he has made things happen.
Rod Brind'Amour was hammered by Michael Pekka. He gets back up, seems to be okay. Now spot check. Then Rafi Torres. Pekka flies after it. Hennigan closed him off. Pisani shoved by Brind'Amour. Pisani trying to play it further. Unfortunately for him, the referee skates in the way. Flipped on back. Hopping out of the way, the referee, so Staios can keep play alive. Gave it up to Brind'Amour. And Brind'Amour lobs one that skipped away from Williams. Shots are 17-7. 8-2 Carolina in this period. The loft by Pekka. And the retrieval. Centered in front. Owen Ward was there trying to hold, and he does.
That puck came off his own teammate. Back into Cam Ward. That was a good play by the Carolina goalie. Not as good as this one, though. Across to Whitney, who gets loose. Quick shot. Oh, whoa. Goal stick, right pad. It got there, or it would have been 3-zip. What a save. What a pass across. Cullen moves it across. Lads in front. Whitney's there, and Markkanen with two fantastic low right pad saves in this period. Puck there goes right off of Pauline, the defenseman skate back into his own goalie. Cam Ward had to be sharp.
Offensive zone face-off, and Horkoff jams his stick in. Brind'Amour to take it for the Hurricanes. It came back for a shot by Green that's flexed back out by Cam Ward and started back out by Carolina. Brind'Amour across to Kevin Adams, tries to shake by it. Able to get there, tries for Craig Adams, who turns. Then Kevin with Brind'Amour. Wanted to connect to him. Didn't work. Oh, what a big hit by Craig Adams just a moment ago on Hemsky. An angle back to Brindamore. More defensive right now. A lot of play between the blue lines. Started ahead by Hemsky over to Ryan Smith. Oh, the pass was by Horkoff as he was breaking to the net. Now Craig Adams, an 80-footer, blocked aside by Markkanen, and ahead it is swirled on for the take, and moving in is Samsonov. Dropped it on back, and it came to the Hurricanes. Kevin Adams back in a shot, turned aside by Markkanen. Once more Stoll. Threw it across the net mouth. Pull a shot, and that one is blocked over to Jason Smith. Pops it out to center, and the bouncer comes on back. Wesley had it swept along. The follow-up comes from Samsonov. Gave it around behind to Radek Dvorak. Challenged by a pair of Hurricanes. Both Cole and Wesley were there. Jabbed away from Cole. Taken by Samsonov. Wanted to feed the point. Could not. Wrestled off by Eric Cole. To a side at the half boards. Nearing the halfway point of regulation time in Game 7 for the Stanley Cup. It is Recchi. Hammered by Jason Smith. Jammed back to Recchi. One-timer is cut off in front by Jason Smith again. Two strong defensive plays by the Oilers captain. Another change. Brent Murray's unit is out for the white-shirted Oilers. Let's go Canes is the chant. They are still standing, most of them here. Offside is called. Let's take a look at our Coors Light Cold Blast.
Slap shot on the power play. A deflection past the goaltender. 2-0 Carolina. That's where it sits right now with 10:16 to go here in this second period of just frantic pace. Gosh, 7th game. Frantic pace by these two hockey clubs. And Mike and Pierre would agree too. I think that this is one game where Carolina has even been at times more physical than Edmonton. And we have not seen that from their club against the Oilers much in this series. It's made a huge difference.
Offside is called, and the Oilers bench is really steamed about that call. Play halted. You saw the Swiss flag earlier. That was for Martin Gerber, the backup goaltender for Carolina. Everything going well for them now. They're up by 2.
I know you like me. I know you do.
Fans of Carolina have every reason to be excited. Rod Brindamore started that great early. Aaron Lawrence followed through. Aaron Stone by Commodore. A constant array of hits from the Carolina Hurricanes, and that's caused some big-time momentum problems for the Edmonton Oilers, and that's one of the reasons why the crowd's so involved for Carolina.
Hitting's good. And so is the shots on goal by Carolina. Going into this game, the last 83 minutes, as you mentioned, Mike, only 18 shots. Well, here in 30 minutes, they've had 19. More than those other 83 combined.
And the fans are still standing. During the stoppage of play, the message board said it's 7th man time, fans. Here's a forehander by Stillman. They're being encouraged to remain standing by the board. Stillman chipped one in front. And it is Ethan Morrow lobbing it back out. Taken on by Michael Pekka. The only man on this squad to have gotten to the final in previous years, that in '99 with Buffalo. This broke down, though. Good hit on Brindamore, but he nudged the puck back for Williams. Justin Williams, the one-time Philadelphia Flyer, put one off the glass support that took a strange bounce. Craig Adams tries to get it loose, but instead it's back up for Ryan Smith. Pounded to the boards by Chad LaRose, and on comes Pisani. Dropping it back for Staios, and the shot is blocked back down and controlled by Mike Commodore. Played in the 04 finals for Calgary. Did not play in the 7th game for them. He said it was the worst experience of his life going into the locker room as a scratch player after they had lost Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final in 04 in Tampa. He said, I don't want that experience tonight. Those were his words just this morning at the morning practice.
It was a 1-goal loss. And Carolina trying to play smart defensively, and I think they are. Recchi's the left winger. He stays back when Edmonton tries to come out of their zone. Cole with another body check.
Sent flying was Horkoff. Ahead comes Pronger, drops to Ryan Smith, chopped right away from him, wheeling back out the Hurricanes, and here comes Cole. Cole crosses, lost it. Swept away neatly by Ryan Smith, then back for the retrieval by Ward.
Mike, you mentioned the crowd here, the 7th man in Edmonton. Rexall Place is where they play their games. It's sold out watching this, and the game's here in Raleigh, North Carolina. A lot of support in both cities. Pierre.
You know, Eric Cole's doing a tremendous job in this game, number 7, but he better watch cutting back to the middle because he does have a bullseye in his back. But you know, the big thing is the matchup. We talk about the Cole matchup. Look how quickly Edmonton changed on a neutral zone situation just out of respect for Rod Brindamore. They want to get Pisani and Pekka and Torres on the ice to play against Williams, Stillman, and Brindamore, and that's an aggressive play. But give Peter Laviolette a lot of credit. He went against what his coaching morals are, and that is to change out of matchups. He's done it here in Game 7, and it's worked really well for him.
And he's able to do it, Pierre, because some of his other players are all playing well. Like, call this line here. Cullen and Whitney, along with Ladd, they're giving their team really good minutes in this game. So you're able to do things like what Laviolette. Oh, how about that hit?
Andrew Ladd on Matt Green, and it's around to Ladd. Did not take that one. Along now is Cullen. Steps away from Green. Ladd sent one off the waffle board of Markkanen. And then lobbed ahead. Radek Dvorak trying to pull his way by. Canceled out and shoved to the boards by Nicholas Pauline. The man nicknamed the Gorilla because he's such a Hulk out there.
He's from way up north in Sweden, 2 hours south of the Arctic Circle. And he said when he played in Sweden, the rounds were only the best of 5. He said that was tough. How about these ones? 2 in a row for them against Buffalo and now Edmonton. Best of 7's going 7.
Jared Stoll wants to get something going. Stoll with a back pass in front. It skipped onto Stillman, cleared not out. Stales a drive, and that one ricocheted off a teammate. It's Dvorak, and he comes to the bench, hammering his stick on the ice. Now Stales rattled it around. Brindamore watches this one come to Pisani and cross-bodied him. Brindamore in the way of Pisani again. How different the makeup of the two teams from one night to the other. Only once in Stanley Cup final history has a team come from as much as 3-1 down to win. 1942 during World War II. Toronto against Detroit. There is a reason it's so hard. The punishment of these games is one of the reasons. You have to do it 3 times in a row, face elimination, and win to get the Stanley Cup in a situation like that. Edmonton has gotten 2/3 of the way, but they're trailing in this one by a pair.
Look at the left winger for Carolina. This time it's Adams. He's back. The left wingers, they call it a left wing lock, first made famous in Detroit. The left wingers are back to help the defenseman. So Edmonton can't get odd man rushes. Recchi's back this time.
It is Pekka again with 5:40 to go.
Look where Eric Cole is when the puck comes up the ice. He's back there with a defenseman. There you see 2 forwards. There he is, the 3rd one. Back with a defenseman.
No room. Cole had it knifed away, or he might have been off to the races. Pauline will go back, and so will Aaron Ward. No icing. Oh, and Ward was hammered by Todd Harvey. Drive by Jason Smith is blocked, and it came right on to Cole again. Young man out of Clarkson tried to work that ahead to Mark Recchi. That didn't pan out, so around it comes for Smith. Let it go. Cole turns, and then back near Recchi again for Carolina. But controlling now and dropping back is Rem Murray. Morrow denied. Hammered was the defenseman. Hedican gets back to take this one, and it's Morrow who's getting up from the ice. Now Ray Whitney, 4 3/4 minutes to go. What a hammer shot that time from Matt Green on him. The H in hockey stands for hitting. Are we seeing a great example of it tonight? This is after 82 games, 25 for Carolina in the playoffs, 24 for Edmonton. An Olympic break, but not a break for everybody on these rosters. Some of them had to go over to Europe to play in Torino, Italy. Centering passes off Horkoff, jammed loose, and up with it is Alex Hemsky. One of the Olympians brings it ahead. Hemsky controlling, drops it back off, and it's poked away by Caberlet. Then Green, then Spacek, then Hemsky. Cut off by the Hurricanes. There's just no room. Across the net mouth, wide by Stillman, brought back ahead by Ryan Smith. The challenge comes from Pauline.
Penalty. Pauline got a stick into the midsection, parallel with the ice. He's going to go for a hooking. You notice Carolina, every chance they get, they're shooting the puck at the net, even from bad angles. That's what they did against Marty Brodeur in the second round of the playoffs. This time the stick into the midsection to stop Smith. Pauline's in the box.
Bending the Malachi crunch. Carolina overly physical tonight, and it's paid major dividends.
Michael Pekka will try to win this from Rod Brindamore. The power play begins. Ryan Smith, 94, and White will eventually go toward the front of the net. That one is sent up into the mesh and out of play, so they'll redo it.
One of the big things for Edmonton is to get Pronger to get the shot on net as they discuss where the faceoff's going to be. A good communication there by the officials. Mike, when Pronger gets the shot on Cam Ward, we've seen it happen a number of times in the series. He shoots the puck so hard that is one shot that Ward, the young goaltender, has trouble handling regarding rebounds. A lot of low shots hit his pads and come right back out in front of the net. Faceoff looks like it's going to stay on the inside after conferring. Oh, maybe not. We'll try and figure this out. As Bill McCreary went over, and he's a very, very good official. He's talking with Cam Ward. Oh, they're saying the puck went directly over the glass. Delay of game. I thought it was deflected. I guess I'm wrong. So it's a two-man short situation for 1:56. 4 seconds in, a look at Aaron Ward. The look on his face. If you shoot the puck as a player in your own zone directly over the glass without touching anybody, it's an automatic delay of game penalty. Black and white penalty. Wow.
0 for 4 in 5-on-3s in this series are the Oilers. Pronger gets it back from Hemsky again. Gives it on a cross for Jarrett Stoll. A little battle at the front is Ryan Smith, and the shot turned aside by Ward. Wesley battling behind Pisani, able to get it for the Oilers and scale it back now to Stoll. 90 seconds in the 5-on-3, a long time for this. Stoll clubbed it onto the outside. Pisani stole a drive, and it squirts wide. Caromed on back to Pronger again. Turnarounder by Hemsky failed, but he recovered off Commodore to give it on back. Stoll feeds it on to Pronger. Back to Stoll once more. Smith at the front of the cage. Hemsky to the outside. Back it comes to Stoll. Sets up Pronger. Pronger then to Hemsky. Crosses, challenged there by Commodore. Still holds. Got a cross, and it's deflected away by Wesley, and a penalty coming up to the Oilers.
Ryan Smith, he hooked Wesley. Wesley couldn't shoot the puck down the ice. Smith was in front of the net the entire penalty kill. Now let's go look at exactly what happened when Aaron Ward shot the puck to make it a two-man advantage for the Edmonton Oilers. He gets it, and he throws it right up, directly over. Well called by the officials. Now Ryan Smith, he's trying to screen the goaltender's eyes. Look what he does in front of the net with his hands. See his hands in his stick, and I mean, he's really trying to take away the goalie's eyes. Wow, I haven't seen that very often. And then Wesley will eventually get the puck and try to move it out. Smith hooked him down to the ice. It's now a one-man power play.
So it's hooking and not face guarding as in football. 4 against 3. A lot of room out there per man. But it is Pronger. Watched by Brindamore. He feathered it across. No one at the front yet. To the back now to Spacek. Given over to Pronger again. Spacek holding it. Trying to get it to Sentinel, but his shot went just wide. Remarkably, he got that one past. Now Pronger. 20 seconds from now, a 4 against 4. Samsonov to Pronger again. Big blast! Save! Cam Ward!
That shot a little bit higher, so no rebound. If it's on the ice or just 3 or 4 inches off, it hits the pad and comes out. That one was about 6 or 8 inches off the ice, over top of the goal pads, into the goaltender. And that's why Ward's able to hang on, even with a screen in front of him. Great save. What a shot this man has. The whip and the stick propels the puck. The shot too high, though. No deflection, no rebound.
Sean Horkoff will try to win the faceoff that comes from that Cam Ward save. And he does. Back to Pronger. In a dozen seconds, it's a 4 against 4. Right now, 4 against 3. Edmonton the advantage. Spacek to Pronger again. Spacek hurried it. Hemsky a shot. Full tie by Ward. 2 seconds and 1. Now they're even but still short. Hemsky to Pronger and drive. Save Ward. Tries to cover. Loose puck. Then he gets the glove on it. Play stop.
Now they killed it off, and it's now a power play for 59 seconds for the Hurricanes. Shot gets through again. Cam Ward, the 22-year-old, spectacular. He's in position. He doesn't look spectacular. He's just so good with his positioning. He makes it look easy. Big save there. Now look at Horkoff in front. Hemsky. Here comes a shot. Again, it's Pronger. Again, it's a save, and eventually held on to by the goaltender, Cam Ward. And then Horkoff got knocked down for being around the net. Wow, this place is exploding. Exploding. And now it's a power play for Carolina. Unbelievable.
Just a tremendous job by Cam Ward, John. You got to appreciate his poise and his rebound control. It's phenomenal. He's frustrating the Edmonton shooters right now.
You know what his dad did? The kid, when he started playing goal, would keep the stick up off the ice. His dad made him play with a heavier stick. Imagine that, to make him keep the stick on the ice. That's how his dad taught him that. His dad is his mentor, by the way, and he's here watching.
Father's name is Ken. John was saying earlier in the series he appeased young Cam when they had to move from Winnipeg to near Edmonton by getting him into a school where he became a goaltender. Before that, a defenseman. Here's Stahl. Blocked down. Oh, great play. Another try. That one on Pronger. 18 seconds to go. Power play. Last 55 of the second period. Caberlet fed it on across. Held there. Caberlet wanted to pull the trigger. He's got one goal already. Then Ray Whitney to the outside to Eric Stahl and back to Whitney. Then Stillman a shot. Save Markkanen.
Well, UC Markkanen's done his part, hasn't he, Mike?
He sure has. Ever since it was 2-0, they've been pounding away, and he hasn't buckled.
He's made some great saves. UC Markkanen, the goalie coach, is former NHLer Pete Peters. And an amazing thing about Pete Peters' son is a goaltender. He played in Red Deer, Alberta, Tier 1 junior hockey. And guess who was the goaltender? Cam Ward. Pete Peters' son was the backup. Can you imagine? It's a small world when things intertwine.
Brindamore on the draw, but it's won this time by Jared Stoll and rifled on back to be taken by Ward. Penalty time up. The box is empty. Full strength action with 33 to go in the second. Williams saw that skip away. Hemsky, who had a great opportunity on the 5-against-3 a moment ago, sees this as an offside and a neutralized faceoff right near Pierre.
John, you've talked about the left wing lock, and you see that offside. That's one of the byproducts of a left wing lock. You take away space in the neutral zone, and it frustrates a lot of people on the Edmonton Oilers bench. A lot of stick banging right now, a lot of over communicating. But the big thing right now for the Edmonton Oilers, if they're going to have success here in the comeback story, they've got to find a way to beat that left wing lock.
Cam Ward and his family live near Edmonton. Since 1995, if you win the Stanley Cup, you get a day with it. New Jersey Devils started that tradition that has been continued by all the rest. So, of all things, he might eliminate the Oilers and have the cup to show off in the city.
I never knew that New Jersey started that tradition. I had no idea the Devils did that.
There were some players who had won it earlier in the 50s and 60s who had never even been close to it since the night they won it. But at any rate, we are at the end of the second period, and somebody's going to get it before the night's over.
Cam Ward was 6 years old last time the Oilers won a cup.
Coming up on the Dodge Intermission Report, Bill, Ray, and Eddie are set to break down this period we've just seen. That's in just a moment on the Dodge Intermission Report. 40 minutes have been played. In that period, 8 shots Edmonton, 12 shots Carolina. Caberlet had one of the 12. It's given his team a 2-0 lead after 2.
He's the one that said, I saw the puck controlled by Staios with his arm, not hand on the puck. Watson, the other referee, said, I called a penalty shot. So you saw him knock the puck with his arm, so that's control. Bill said yes. Watson said, well, then I can't call a penalty shot. So the referees, from their point of view, were on the same page as Bill McCreary usually is. And that's the last we'll talk about it.
No carryover penalties nor power plays. They stand again here. Most of the 18,730. They paid a good deal for a seat, not using it right now. Smith caroms it behind, and Pronger starts it ahead. Stahl lays it on now for Radek Dvorak. Crossing, Dvorak, a backhander, and it's flexed away by Cam Ward. Brought back up by Williams and put into the catching glove of Markkanen, and he will just hold on.
First big save goes to Cam Ward. The Oilers did break the left wing lock. Dvorak has great speed, backhander, and there's a good kick save there. And the shot on goal, Markkanen hangs on for a face-off.
Now to our Charles Schwab conversation.
Well, Edmonton's got to break that left wing lock. They did it with Dvorak's speed. He did get a good shot on goal. Carolina can't turn the puck over and give Edmonton odd man rushes. And for the Hurricanes, if they stay out of the penalty box here in the third, well, Edmonton doesn't get a power play. It'll certainly help them.
You can view more analysis of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals in a Charles Schwab conversation that can be viewed only online at NBCSports.com.
For the Hurricanes, Ray Whitney now just coming back to the bench from the locker room. He actually came back to the bench late, went to the locker room, and now has returned again. But he seemed to be running out of the locker room, so maybe just an equipment problem.
Pronger. Blocked off of Pekka, and he is hurt. Meanwhile, Eric Cole to the net. Down he goes, and play continues. Michael Pekka just now crawling over the boards in pain. Back up with it now, Rafi Torres with a man-breaking save. More rebound, another save. Rebound, score! The Oilers have been able to cut the lead in half. What a combination. The third man coming in was able to lift it up.
Micah was amazing. We were looking at Pekka getting helped over the bench. He's still hurt. You see him there with a trainer. As that's happening, one shot rebound, second shot save, third shot. It's not him again. Yes, it is Pisani. Unbelievable. 14th goal of the playoffs for Fernando Pisani. He gets to the net. Recchi doesn't hold his stick in check, and it's in past the goaltender. A big collision once the puck is over the line. Puck is over the line, then the collision, then the net off the mooring. Edmonton's back in the game, a minute 3 into the third period.
And they're back in the game because a man that replaced Michael Pekka after he goes down right there is number 22, Rem Murray. It was Rem Murray that drove the net, that allowed the opening for Fernando Pisani to come in and jam it home. But it was 22 in white that replaced Pekka.
In addition to the Stanley Cup, there is a trophy called the Conn Smythe, which goes to the most valuable player to his team in the playoffs. Fernando Pisani is now to 14 goals. If Edmonton comes back, he would have to be one of the leading candidates, along with Chris Pronger. And when Carolina talks about this, they're thinking Rod Brind'Amour and also Cam Ward. That is the lesser of the trophies now. A one-goal game. Carolina has had more than any playoff team in history, 16 of them. They've won 10.
Rexall Place is where the Oilers play in Edmonton, Alberta. It's sold out. And they recognize the goal being scored and listen to that ovation from their fans. Wow. Edmonton has all 4 shots in this period. Right now, Pekka just stepped on the ice and tried to skate around a little bit. Looked like he was awfully sore and has now gone back to the bench. Greg McTavish is a coach. You can't panic. There's Ken Lowe telling the coach the story about Pekka. Can he play or not? That's Pisani. He just scored the goal.
Of the 14 goals in the playoffs for Pisani, 10 have occurred in games 4, 5, 6, or 7 after the initial 3 games. Caberlet, who has what stacks up as the winner if the score doesn't change. Flipped back along and through Eric Stahl. Crosses sticks with Ryan Smith. Matt Green with a big body in. Ryan Smith cleared. Aaron Ward kept. Shot one that was blocked aside by the defense of Dick Tarnstrom. Hemsky connects ahead. Horkoff up with it there. Spins it back in. And Caberlet will play more line changes. Away from Recchi. Popped back out and in stride. And onside is Radek. And he couldn't get the shot away because of Valine. Now Samsonov, a shot turned aside by Ward. Recchi flips it along, and going back for it is Matt Green. For checker is Chad LaRose. Meanwhile, it is thrown back along by Tarnstrom to Jared Stoll. Oh, was he hit by Craig Adams? 2 3/4 minutes played here in the third, and the battling continues. Dvorak popped it wide of the cage. Some time and space for Valine. Off the glove of Stoll. Brought back ahead by LaRose. Centered it on goal, and it's blocked off by Markkanen. Pitched back along by Tarnstrom again. Good close off by Hennigan, and it's kept alive by Brind'Amour. Another bench is Justin Williams, 11 in red. Nearly came up with that as Matt Green was able to skip it on. Lob back ahead, but Morrow couldn't get that. It's off the glove of Corey Stillman. Back down below to Pierre.
Well, the Michael Pekka injury situation looked great. The injury did look grave at the time. Here it is. Ponger's trying to break that left wing lock with a bullet pass. Pekka goes down. As he goes down, you see his teammate trying to help him. Rem Murray jumps on to help Michael Pekka because he's injured. Just talked to Michael Pekka, looked him in the eye, said, "You all right?" He says, "Absolutely, I'm ready to go."
Well, he just skated on the ice and then went back to the bench and just nodded to the coaches. So we'll see if he's able to go here.
Remember now, don't get last change here. Fourth line is on the ice. Rem Murray's on the ice with Ethan Morrow and Todd Harvey. That's his normal line. Murray, Morrow, and Harvey's the normal line.
Brindamore won that draw, played back in by Stillman. Spot check. The shots are 5-1 Edmonton here in period number 3. Coming on is Murray, had it knocked away by Hennigan. Murray able to play again for Todd Harvey. Falling to the ice, Hennigan. Diving spike of the puck by Brindamore. Frees it up for his teammates to bring ahead. Stillman on with a wrister, blocked away by Markkanen. Think about the saves he made when it was 2-0. Comes up with another one here to keep his team alive. They've cut the lead in half here in the third. A little over 4 minutes played. 23 shots for Carolina, 18 for Edmonton. A nice pass ahead now for Ray Whitney. Whitney crosses, pursued by a couple. One falls. It's to Cullen, and a shot is blocked by Smith. Drive, and that went in past the glove of Markkanen, and eventually out of play.
Yeah, Pekka's on the ice for this shift. He's having trouble putting weight on his left foot. I mean, even right now, he's skating around, lifting his foot up a little bit. Great big-time block by Jason Smith as Carolina tries to make it a 2-goal game. So Pekka stays on the ice. He's talking to his teammates about what he's going to do on the face-off. No, he's not going to take the draw. Stoll's out there to take the drives. Well, yes. Pierre.
They usually go to Stoll on this side of the ice. It's a right-hand shot, as is Pekka, but they usually go to Stoll. Stoll will leave the ice as soon as he wins the draw.
Up for grabs, and emerging with it is Eric Stahl. Then Caberlet into the glove of Markkanen.
It's a great job by young Eric Stahl against Jared Stoll. Controlling the puck, being strong on it. That's what they want from him. That's the kind of domination he had earlier on. Turn it into a 4-man cycle. Markkanen controls the tempo. But that's what they need from Eric Stahl here in Carolina.
Eric Stahl, Jared Stoll, they could face each other again. 2 future captains for their clubs, I think.
These are teams that half of the players in the roster are in their 30s. Undoubtedly, there will be changeover over the summer. Means nothing right now. A 2-1 game, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So glad you've joined us. It's been a thrill for us to be a part of this, and the crowd and the competition. How hard they've played so far. Jason Smith across now to Pronger. Then ahead to Michael Pekka, who's back out there again. Pekka swings one that kicked across and eventually can be controlled by Chad LaRose. Down to the ice he goes. Play continues. Handed back up for Pisani to shovel on the bounce near Cam Ward. Greg Adams there, rammed by Pekka. Touched ahead now and striding to it is Kevin Adams, who was hurt by a shot earlier. Tarnstrom twists back and hands it to Matt Green. A little bunt ahead to Hemsky. Put on step by Craig Adams. The young man out of Harvard comes to the bench and is replaced for the Hurricanes with 5.5 played here in the third period. Horkoff crosses and is able to move ahead. Pitches it in and goes right after it. Ryan Smith burrows in too and is able to tip it behind, but then they outman, and it's Brindamore nudging on. Little pass is off Corey Stillman and retrieved by Steve Staios. Staios in spot check, the defense. Horkoff working up front along with Hemsky and Ryan Smith. They're forced back for the forecheck of Stillman. 14 minutes to go. Played back in by Ryan Smith. Regathered by Commodore. Andrew Ladd. The follow-up pops loose off Brindamore. Hemsky trying to finesse by. It's brushed aside by Commodore. Edmonton again has to recoil. Another change for Carolina. Brindamore gets some time at the bench. Ray Whitney after that, but Hennigan is there. Then Commodore. From Cullen, back down.
What a hit by Samsonoff. Nailed Commodore. He's a little slow getting to the bench.
Very slowly crawling over the boards. Replaced now by Aaron Ward, who slept that one back out. Played by Pronger off a teammate. Cullen couldn't get it. Radek Dvorak moves in, had it whacked away by Caberlet. A neat take by him and a lob back out. 7 minutes played in the third. Shots are 25-18-5 for the Oilers. 4 for Carolina. Eric Stahl, but nudged on, and Pronger can take over again. Big Ethan Morrow plays it at the half boards. Slipped a pass ahead that was off a skate group. Good shoulder by Valine on Horkoff. Right back ahead is Morrow getting by. Save made by Ward. Rebound, and Morrow sent to the corner by Valine. Moving in is Pronger with it. Sent it around behind, and it was away from Morrow. Good hit at the half boards. Drive by Smith, and it got the high glass behind. Thrown by Recchi to Stahl. Punch back in, and another change in lines. Most are still standing here. Their team ahead 2-1. Hustling in Rafi Torres. Nearby is Pekka for Edmonton. Taken over by the Hurricanes, and they move it back out. Craig Adams lobbed it in. LaRose there. Then for Adams, but Pisani doing the defensive number on him for the Oilers.
And pay attention to Pisani, the hottest goal scorer Edmonton has.
34 in White, and he moves in along with Commodore. They cancel. Caberlet foisted it back along, and LaRose turned. Stymied by Horkoff. It's hooked back across, and Craig Adams is able to worm his way out and lay it in again. Another obedient change in lines for both teams as they roll them on. Pass for Hemsky. Nearly run off by Stillman. They rule it an offside, and so we all get a breather for a moment.
Well, Edmonton's back in it. There's Pisani able to score on the...
She's got some glistening hardware at home from the Olympics. Christy Yamaguchi, wonderful figure skater. Brett Hennigan looking for the biggest prize in his sport, hockey. Turned around behind it. Centering pass by Williams. Blocked. Another shot by Brindamore. And that one off the mark. Battled for there and worked along by Hemsky. Has some trouble. It's pitchfork back out, and Mike Commodore will stop it.
Brindamore may have hit the outside of the goalpost, Mike.
Commodore could not force it back in. Well, they're only as wide as a puck, but can the post ever be a goaltender's brain?
They checked it downstairs, and yes, it hit the outside of the goalpost. Otherwise, it was 3-1 with 10.5 minutes to go at the time.
Skipped away from Pronger. Markkanen has to come out. A little bit of an adventure, but he gives on now for Jason Smith. Bunted across by Stoll, played by Radek Dvorak across to Samsonoff. Samsonoff a shot, deflected up into the mesh above the glass.
Samsonoff was nailed by Aaron Ward. Wow, after the play. Take a look at the play where Brindamore will get the shot to the stick side of the goaltender. Oh, that was right on the goalpost, not even the outside. Oof. Close. Edmonton still lives. Let's listen for it. Oh, goaltender loves to hear that, Mike. Goaltender loves that sound. Edmonton lives. 10:06 to go in the third. 2-1 Carolina.
Murray tumbled from the draw. Fed, but into trouble off of Harvey. 13 in White on the forecheck. Meanwhile, it's brought ahead and dealt back out by Valine. Shoved right back to Todd Harvey again. Former San Jose Shark and New York Ranger scaled that one back in. Chipped in a lot of skate traffic before Stahl could dump it back. Eric Cole trying to escape. Pronger said no. Mark Recchi comes in. Taken out of the play by Pronger. On the attack, the Oilers with Ethan Morrow bouncing one wide. He hustles right in to get a chopped one that is cut off in front. Worked back along by Hennigan. Played back further and outletted by Recchi again. Brought on by Matt Cullen. Cullen a shot, and it's deflected wide by Spacek on defense. Follow-up now comes from Andrew Ladd. Triple one in front, a shot, and that one also Matt Cullen had it nudged along. Andrew Ladd there. Ray Whitney with it. Lobbed it back in, hoping for Cullen. Spot check there, but it's jabbed away by Smith. Taken by Whitney again. Hit by spot check. He keeps going. Ray Whitney circles. Little pass in front, goes to the half board, but Commodore moves it back in. Away from Ladd. Hustling there is Whitney. He's all over the place. Ray Whitney again. Tries to muscle his way to the front. Tripped up on the play. Ladd tried to knife it free, and it's lobbed back down by Spacek.
If this is icing, no, it's not. Oh, Edmonton wouldn't have been able to change. Their fourth line was exhausted.
Pass ahead by Kevin Adams. Turned back over. Ryan Smith's pass is away from Torres, and eventually grabbed and lifted back out again by Aaron Ward. Ward had the first goal in this game. Caberlet the second in the second period. And then Pisani answered here in the third for Edmonton. A little over 8 minutes to go. Chad LaRose drilled it back in. Markkanen crashed the board, turned it over to his defense. Both teams in the midst of a change. Hemsky on a cross. Got it onto Torres. Got by! Torres a shot! And he got the glass! Play continues as this laid back out, and Matt Green will have to chase it down. Another change for Carolina. Edmonton waiting to make a change too. Torres moved in, went down. Meanwhile, it swept back and tumbled into the ice was Commodore. Sean Horcoff to Jason Smith. Hit by Brindamore. Oilers have to outlet. Long toss from Pronger. Swept across and Horcoff ahead. Drops it back off. Ryan Smith a shot. Knocked down in front by Hagen. Rebound is grabbed by Ward.
Edmonton giving it everything they have. And we may have a penalty. Bill McCreary, yes, his arm is up. It's in the air. We have a penalty. It's a roughing call. It's Brett Hedigan who's now appealing, but he put a fist right into somebody's face. Power play. Oilers, they have 7:22 to score to tie. Power play Edmonton. Keep your eye on Brett Hedigan as right there, right to the face of Horcoff. Bill McCreary towards center ice. Spotted it, made the good call.
Edmonton power play 0 for 3 with 5 shots. One by Pekka, taken by Spacek over to Pronger. To the outside, Hemsky, then along to Pekka. At the front door is Ryan Smith. Chopped back through and walked on by Pekka, and a shot knocked down to the defense. As falling was Wesley. Ward trying to find it. Out of the scramble, though. To the outside is Hemsky. On back to Pronger again. Alex Hemsky turning with it. Will he shoot? No, he dealt it off. And it's Pekka. Michael Pekka with Smith in front. The feed across for Hemsky was tipped behind. Then Pronger. Aaron Ward protects pretty well. Gave it up to Hemsky behind, and the feed is laid along back to the point. Pronger there. Finessed it back over. Hemsky across. Spacek and drive, and it's deflected wide by Brindamore.
Oilers' enemy is missing the net. Missing the net. Good setup for Spacek.
Chris Pronger, all that experience, all that ice time. Oh, and roughed up was Horcoff that time by Commodore. Brought on back by Ryan Smith. Tried for Spacek, laid back out. Kevin Adams after it, and Pronger is there. Past the halfway point of the power play. A little over 6 minutes to go. Game 7, Stanley Cup Final, 2-1 Carolina. Pisani hands it across. Set up there, but stiffly for Stoll. And it's an onside play. Pauline nudged it along, not out. Tarnstrom flipped it around behind. While the fans were booing, they thought it had come back outside.
So did the Carolina bench.
This is Jared Stoll. Gets it across to Dick Tarnstrom. Stoll again once more across to Rafi Torres. Dropped it on down to Pisani, the hot hand. Drive by Stoll, knocked down by the defense. Played back along, and once more they keep the play alive. A quarter of a minute to go on the power play. Handed back to Tarnstrom, then given over to Jared Stoll. Handed on to Horcoff. The battle at the front, the drive, and that one knocked down and cleared by the defense. In front of the net was Kevin Adams.
And he blocked the last two, Mike. Better than a goaltender. He just stood there, took 2 shots up high, did the job as the power play expires.
Perhaps a killing penalty kill. Eric Stahl ahead, and a 2-on-1 was Cole. Can't get it there. Pronger with a defensive gem for Edmonton. Meanwhile, the Oilers lob it back. Caberlet turning in traffic, jabbed it on out. Pronger there. That follow-up came from Cole. Can they outman? Nope, very deliberately. Stahl plays it back in. After it is Mark Recchi. He canceled there with Jason Smith so that Pronger could lay it back near him. Smith with a pass. Dvorak stood up, taken away by Matt Cullen. Hennigan threw one into the glove of Markkanen, and play is stopped. Close calls throughout the night.
4:32 to go. You got to hit the net. That missed by about 3 feet.
Deafening noise here in Raleigh, North Carolina, with the Hurricanes leading 2-1. Frustration on the Oiler bench, not capitalizing on that last power play. Calm, reserve, cool on the Carolina Hurricane bench.
Hennigan played it back in, a delayed offside. Now the Hurricanes peel back in on the forecheck, and it's nearly lost by Staios. Brind'Amour and Stillman and Williams for Carolina. Pauline and Wesley, the 18-year man who's been in the final 4 times, never won, comes to the bench on a change. Kicked along to Stillman. Worked on there by Steve Staios, the veteran for Edmonton. Brind'Amour to Stillman, out in front of feed, and it's canceled away from Williams. A good cluster of players in front for Edmonton. Back up the wing, turning along, and a shot was on rebound. Oh, a remarkable save on Torres by Ward.
Amazing. When you shoot the puck from a bad angle long to the far side of the net, down low, you'll get a rebound. And Pisani was robbed. Unbelievable. The first shot was right where it had to be by Torres, down low. Look at the goaltender kick the rebound out. Pisani's there, got his stick on it. Cam Ward stretches as far as he can, kept the glove above the pad, and Pisani again, he's the man. He's been the Oiler to keep them in games with his great scoring, but that time Cam Ward said no.
Horkoff and Brind'Amour for the draw. 3:40 to go in regulation.
The referee skating in. The players behind are being told by him to stay out of the circle.
Won by the Oilers. Pronger there. Drive. Save Ward. Rebound. Sweeping it away while prone to the ice. Aaron Ward. But it's still not out. Tripped up on the play. Ryan Smith. Hurricanes able to outlet it. And it's fanned out and dropped back in again by Ray Whitney. Stahl could not play that. Pronger could. Right back to Horkoff. Settled down and nicely controlled by Ryan Smith and sent back in near a stray stick. Aaron Ward turning there. Wipes out but gets back up to send it off the glass and back down. And it's icing. Offensive zone face-off for the Oilers with 3:04 left.
The Oilers cannot change. Pardon me, the Hurricanes cannot change. And Brind'Amour is on the bench. He cannot come out for the face-off. Can't come out for the face-off. So now we have a timeout called by Peter Laviolette. That's not a bad decision at all by him. There's 3:04 to go. His team leads by 1. With Brind'Amour not out there to take every face-off like it's been almost all season long, he wants to set his team up. When you ice the puck this season, a new rule, you can't change your players. You shouldn't be rewarded for icing the puck. So the league made an appropriate rule change and a good one. And now the Hurricanes have to make the decision as to what to do if you win the draw and what to do if you lose the draw, since Brind'Amour's not on the ice, Pierre.
Well, what Peter Laviolette's stressing right now is if you win the draw, wired around the wall, our right winger will be in position to go there and battle him at the point. He's also telling him what to do if they lose. Craig McTavish, on the other hand, telling his team what to do if they win the draw. And earlier on, Craig Simpson, the assistant coach, was stressing, make sure you get pucks on goal quickly. It doesn't have to be hard. It just has to be quick.
Faceoffs have been very close. Carolina 26, Edmonton 24. So that's a tight, even game regarding that. There's McTavish talking to Markkanen. There's 3:04 to go. So Markkanen was just, trying to be on the same page if eventually he gets called to the bench for the extra attacker. Good time to do it. To get all the communication put into place.
Stahl against Stoll. And gotten by Stahl. But retrieved by Staios and kept alive. Aaron Ward swoops to it, but it came back up for Recchi to clear off a stick and out.
And now Carolina could change their players.
Staios lobs, hoping for Stoll. Meanwhile, that one flops around and is guided into some traffic by Stillman. And then nudged off Brind'Amour. Drive by Staios, got the glass. Justin Williams for Carolina with a little over 2.5 to go. Deos pulls along with that. Stillman nearby. The normal time for pulling a goaltender is?
Well, it'll be around a minute, I would think. With only it being down by 1 goal, there's still 2:19 to go in this third. But Markkanen wanted to make sure, what if there's not another whistle up until then? So he just wanted to make sure, and the bench will be ready for it if Edmonton doesn't get something done before.
That one cut off and played right back in by Nicholas Vahlin.
That's the idea for Carolina. Get the puck deep, make Edmonton come 200 feet to find offense.
Oh. Rushing ahead, Pisani trying to get by. Oh, the feet came on across. Drive by Smith, and that one is patted away by Cam Ward. Work back along, and Pisani is after it. On him is Aaron Ward, fed to the back and hurried on to Smith again. Screen set up, that deflected wide. To the bench now is Markkanen. The net at the other end is empty with 1 minute and 35 seconds to go. 6 Oiler attackers out. It comes back across to Pisani. Laid it back in. Aaron Ward tries to get there. Crunches along the boards with Torres. They burrow in and Samsonov tries to free it up. Kick back along near Torres. Picked up by Stillman. And we get a stoppage of play.
The puck went into the netting. And you see right now, Pekka's talking to the referee on the far side. Watson, they want a penalty. They're saying the puck went straight in. They also, I think, want to check the clock and make sure no extra seconds ticked off as you see Craig McTavish looking up at the clock. Oh, what a pass that was across the ice. And this allowed the Oilers to get into the zone. A brilliant cross-ice pass, but the back check there by Eric Stahl, the young centerman, was right on the mark. Now Edmonton has their one and only timeout. They can use it now. 1:14 to go in the third. They trail by 1. The board is out. Charlie Huddy on the left. Craig Simpson in behind on the right. The error.
Craig Simpson actually made this drawing before Craig McTavish took the board. If you remember when Craig Simpson was a player, John, especially with Edmonton, he was a tremendous goal scorer, and he scored a lot of his goals in tight. One of the things they want to try to accomplish with the goalie out, win the draw, obviously, but get Ryan Smith to the front of the net and try to get as many rebound opportunities or deflection chances as possible.
Time to take a look at our Dodge Ram Tough line. They are the 2 defensemen. The old defensemen have the goals tonight. First Ward and then Caberlet. .117 left. Net empty at one end of the ice. At the other end, the hopes of the Oilers. The 14th team out of 30 in the league. They finished 8th in the West. The only 8th seed to ever get to the Stanley Cup final. They have battled back from 3 games to 1 down to make this even, except on the scoreboard in the 7th and last game.
And Carolina earned the 7th game with a phenomenal regular season. Brendan Moore will take the draw, Mike. He's a left-handed centerman. He's put his bottom hand over top of the stick. He'll try to draw it back into the corner, which is his strong suit. Right back into that corner is where he wants to go. Now Stoll, 16. He's going to try and draw it back for Pronger to move it across.
The tie-up, and it comes back to Pronger. Tried to move it across. The bouncer to the half-boards. Hennigan took a hit. They jam along at the half-boards, and it came loose. Hennigan knifed it on. Brought back up by Stahl. Getting back across to Williams. Score!
Yeah, the Oilers actually controlled the puck off the draw. Extra attacker. Great effort to win the puck back. But look at the defensive posture by the guys in red. They're being pressured. They're being pressured. 4 Oilers on the right side. And the 3 guys won the puck. Moved to Justin Williams. Pronger did his best to get back. An empty net goal with 1:01 to go. And you can feel it for the guys in red. You can also feel it for the guys in white. Markkanen now is back in goal. Center ice faceoff.
The difference is 2. The difference is so narrow. These 2 teams in the 7-game series. It is played in on an offside. Markkanen has gone to the bench, so the net vacated again. 50.3 to get 2 to force overtime.
Markkanen went to the net, as you mentioned. He stays, or pardon me, to the bench, and he stays on the bench. Edmonton has no choice. Pekka's got to win a draw, but he's going up against Brindamore. Pisani, the hot goal scorer, is on the ice. Stillman is up against him on the near side. Face-off set up. You see the forward way over on the far side. Oh, boy.
3/4 of a minute to go. Pauline goes back for this one. Closed off by Michael Pekka. They burrow in after it. It's nudged on down to Ryan Smith. Taken away by Aaron Ward. Back up the board. Stillman punched it back out. All along they said whatever it takes. It has taken some injured players to rally Carolina from 3-1 down as the jostling continues at the half boards and tempers erupt here.
Oh boy, Torres went in, hard hits. You see the referee's arm up. There's 20.1 seconds to go. There will be a penalty called, at least one. You know, you look at the players on this Carolina club. Wesley, his 7th game of his career in the playoffs. The previous 7 he had won 6, but never a Stanley Cup. Twice beaten by the Edmonton Oilers in the finals. This is his chance. He's 20.1 seconds away. Aaron Ward right there was hit in game 5. He was hit so hard that he went to the locker room. He was a head injury and he vomited, didn't know where he was, came back and played. Hardly remembers playing the rest of the game. The reason he came back, if he didn't, he had to take what they call a baseline test the next day, which would have meant concussion and you can't play. He would have been done, but he wanted to come back and play so he could play the rest of the series. He said, I don't remember the last half of the game except for when I blocked a shot on my foot and it hurt so much that that's what I remember. Puck along the boards. Brindamore with a big hit, and here comes Torres and Smith and Williams. We have penalties, 1 to each team, before the puck's to be dropped here.
It will be the captain who will take what might be the last draw. Pronger shuffled it across. Drive by Spacek, deflected to the glass and then the mesh. And the ruling was a deflection, and the face-off will stay right now. I think they're pointing in.
Kevin Adams got there. He got there. That was a set play by Edmonton on the face-off. Hard shot by Spacek, but Adams' stick deflected the puck. Peter Laviolette was Team USA's coach in the Olympics. That didn't go so well. This here, he's looking at the clock. 15.1 to go.
The first 2 games they played in the playoffs back in mid-April, they lost. Then they won the next 4 and the 2 rounds after. They have been absolutely relentless. Brindamore with the net empty. Pronger shrubs it away. The Carolina Hurricanes have won the Stanley Cup. The group wearing red hardly knows what to do. For most of them, they've never celebrated one of these before. The group at the other end at the bench knows what tradition dictates. And they will shift from the fire of that last shift and the penalties with 20 seconds to go to extend handshakes and congratulations to the victors.
Well, you know how much it hurts for Edmonton and the euphoria for Peter Laviolette for Edmonton. They should be very, very, very proud of their season. It's hard to understand that right now, but what they've done is remarkable for the journey. And Mike, just watch the emotions. Isn't it special? How about in the Duke Medical Center? There's a little girl, Julia Rose. She's 6 years of age. The Hurricanes adopted her as a friend through Peter Laviolette, the head coach. She's battling leukemia. They raised a lot of money for that battle. And I hope she has one gigantic smile on her face right now watching this. She deserves it as this club is pulling for you, Julia.
The bear hugs continue. The carpet rolled out. The handshakes have not taken place yet. Cam Ward is downstairs with Pierre.
Cam, 22 years of age. What do you do for an encore now? How's this?
I mean, this is a dream come true. You know, I couldn't be doing it with a better group of guys. They definitely deserve it.
Take me to the Pisani save late in the third period when you had to really stretch out. It kind of reminded me of the Dvorak save in Game 6.
Well, you know what? I made a mistake on the first goal. It was a bad rebound. That was similar play, and you know, I just wanted to bear down and give my team a chance to win.
We all know you're a calm, soothing influence in this room. After the first period, was there any frustration after the goal was not counted?
No, there wasn't. You know, we were happy with the way that we were playing and felt confident at the same time.
With this team, who's the veteran leader that stepped up in your room to really take charge? There was one guy in particular really said, hey, this is where we got to go after losing Game 6.
Rod Brindamore. He's the leader of this team, and you know, once again, it came up huge for us.
Tell me about the dream to win the cup.
Huh?
Tell me about your dream to win the cup.
This is it. I'm living it right now.
Congratulations, Cam. You're a Stanley Cup champion.
Thank you.
Doc?
Very patiently, the Oilers wait. The carpeting is rolled out now, and pretty soon the handshake line will form. Brett Hedican, this will be his first championship. He is the first in line, and congratulates Chris Pronger.
Yeah, Chris Pronger first in line for Edmonton, the classy Chris Pronger, who was brought over to Edmonton during the offseason, and what a run. He had Rod Brindamore, had been very quiet the last two games, but he started this game with a bang. He went out and led his team by example. He's not a flashy player, but he just does it. There's Rem Murray. Rem Murray has a problem with a nerve damage in his neck. And Mike, he collected insurance money, and he had to pay money back to be able to play this season. He lost money playing. He wanted a chance of winning a Stanley Cup. He took Botox shots so his neck would straighten out and not have the chin go to his shoulder all the time and have to hold his hand to straighten his head out, to straighten his chin out. But he went and got it done so he could play. But he came one win short of winning it.
Fire evaporates to congratulations. Craig McTavish was saying this morning, 286 days since rookie camp. That's how long a year is. And there is Eric Cole, the young man who just made his return 2 games ago.
He made a difference. Added to the lineup. He made just a huge difference. He added fresh legs. He added a lot of skill to the lineup. He was talking to Pisani. That's Hemsky. Dick Tarnstrom. The big kid Green, who's got a great future. The goaltending of Markkanen was more than people expected. Steos and Peter Laviolette, they know each other from the Boston Bruins organization.
Brett Hedican downstairs with Pierre.
Brett Hedican in 1994, you tasted Stanley Cup defeat to the New York Rangers when you were the Canucks. What's it like at the top of the mountain now, big boy?
Wow, I can't describe it. You know, the third time I hope was going to be a charm. I've been here 3 times, and both times were gut-wrenching and left scars. But tonight, all that work, all that hard work that our team put in, it's all paid off.
It seemed like you guys had a different game plan coming here into game number 7. When did you decide to change the game plan, and who's the voice that stepped up and delivered the game plan change?
You know, Roddy Brindamore has just been there all year long for us. He's just a guy that led every night for us in the locker room, speaking vocals. But I'll tell you what, we just did it together. We had to do it together tonight.
Congratulations, way to go. And what are you going to say to Christy tonight?
Well, I'm just so proud of her championship. Now I got one to go with beside her.
It is awesome to see this emotion from you. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, Pierre.
Doc!
Since 1965, the Conn Smythe Trophy has been presented to the player judged most valuable to his team in the playoffs. Here's PA announcer Brian Doyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by for the presentation of the Conn Smythe Trophy to the most valuable player of the
2006 playoffs and the Stanley Cup to the 2006 National Hockey League champion, Carolina Hurricanes.
It is not always to a member of the winning team. 5 times it has been to a member of the losing squad.
Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman to present the Conn Smythe Trophy to Cam Ward, the 2006 Stanley Cup playoffs most valuable player.
The Commissioner Gary Bettman shaking hands with Cam Ward, 22 years of age. Wow. What a great kid. Goes out to Vancouver during the summer, works at a goalie camp led by Ian Clark, works at his craft, never wilted under the pressure, and came up with a gigantic Game 7.
Pierre is downstairs with yet another member of this victorious outfit.
Corey Stillman, you said going into Game 6 that you were going to win up in Edmonton. You didn't win there. How disappointing was that, and how hard was it to get ready for tonight?
Well, it was disappointing going up there. I thought we would have been much better, but coming back, we knew we had to score first. I think the only other time we did that was in Game 2 when we had a shutout. So we knew we had to come back. We were ready. We've had a great home record all year. We were confident we were going to win.
This was the most physical you men were all series long. Was that the message from your coaching staff?
Well, we wanted to get in and forecheck, and when we play right, we get the puck in, we can finish checks. We have 2 guys on the puck. You know what? It was our turn. We skated hard tonight, and you know what? It's great winning.
Can you believe the composure of Cam Ward at 22 years of age?
Well, you know what? You have to get a chance sometime, and I guess if you're going to say him, he's not in that running, but Patrick Waugh came in to do it and showed composure, and I tell you, Cam Ward has the same attitude right now.
Congratulations on being a Stanley Cup champion.
Thanks, Pierre.
Doc.
Doug Waite was not able to play in this game, but he is in uniform for the celebration. First time for him. Rod Brindamore waited 17 years. 18 years was the wait for Glenn Wesley, who was surrounded by his family. They were all in a gigantic group hug on the ice. And now, the Stanley Cup.
Here it comes. 34 pounds worth of beautiful, beautiful
Ladies
silver.
and gentlemen, the Stanley Cup.
Phil Pritchard and Craig Campbell are carrying the Stanley Cup to center ice. Since 1993, the Cup has been given white glove treatment. The treatment it's getting tonight, Gary Bettman will be presenting it to the captain of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brindamore.
What an incredible end to an amazing season, and I want to thank all of our fans for the great support you've given us, particularly in Edmonton and here in Carolina. Let's also give a great hand to the Edmonton Oilers. They had a terrific season, and this was a great playoffs for them. Peter Carmanos had a dream that hockey would work in Carolina. And guess what? He was right. I'm almost there. Congratulations to Jimmy Rutherford, Peter Laviolette, all the players on the Hurricanes. Rod Brindamore, I'm proud to present this to you.
The three who waited the longest got it first. Brindamore 17 years, Wesley 18, Hedican 14.
I think when Eric Cole gets it, there's going to be some cheer in this building. Eric Cole said, you look back, it was Doug Ackley, my squirt coach. It was Eddie Gossick, my Pee-wee coach. It was Don Ford, who coached me in Bantam. It was Pete Sears, who coached me in high school, and he was an Olympic goaltender. He said thanks to all those guys. The players remember who helped get them to this position, because this is the top of the mountain. Corey Stillman won it in Tampa Bay 2 winters ago. Wins it here. Imagine that run for him. You know, he told us earlier, we talked about it, Mike. So why'd you sign in Carolina? You were a free agent. He said, there only team that wanted me. What a marriage that's been.
Second time for Mark Recchi. A decade and a half ago, it was in Pittsburgh.
It's a big game 7. He played very well. He helped spark this team early. An assist on the very first goal.
Aaron Ward out of the University of Michigan had the first goal in this game. He probably is the huge poster man for playing hurt in all of this. We have hoped to chat with some of the representatives from both teams, and we have with Carolina. Edmonton undoubtedly disconsolate. We are probably not going to hear from them before we leave the air. But this was a wonderful celebration. For us, it doesn't seem that long ago since we were in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, talking about the first season out of the lockout and how exciting it would be. What a conclusion. A Game 7, John.
Just an awesome display of how the game's to be played. And congratulations once again to the Edmonton Oilers, an extremely classy organization who gave everything to the sport to allow this playoffs to be a great run. And I just have to mention goaltender Jussi Markkanen, who really did his job after Dwayne Rollison was injured.
The celebration continues here in Raleigh, the cup being held high. Everyone will get a chance to have a day with it. Some of those days will be in Edmonton, some will be up near the Arctic Circle in Europe. Final score from Carolina, the Hurricanes 3, the Oilers 1. It took 7. The Hurricanes did it. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, it's your late local news. Then stay tuned for an all-new Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Tonight, Jay welcomes Mariah Carey and Keane for our entire NHL on NBC crew. Doc Emrick, downstairs Pierre Maguire, JD next to me. You've been watching the NHL Stanley Cup Finals on NBC, presented by Spring.